This is Luis Sandoval, FightHype.com, here with the one and only Joe Goossen. Joe, before anything, John has always won a lot of fights, and one fight he always talked about was Adrien Broner. It's here. You as a trainer, how do you feel about that fight?
Well, look, it's a fight that, you know, we obviously said we'd want it, and now we've got it. And what do I think about it? We got what we want. Now we got to go out and win it.
How, given Broner style, given John style, how beneficial, like how is this fight for him? Is it beneficial to John's style? Is this the kind of fight and style that John wants and looks good against?
Look, I mean, Broner is an exceptional athlete. You know, he's a great counter puncher. He's got good power. He's slick. You know, he's kind of a Mayweather that doesn't
all
move.
The world I see before me passes by.
That's John, by the way.
Yeah, you know, he's slick without the movement, which makes him, you know, if you're taking into consideration that style that he's got, it's a very difficult style. You know, it's a very defensive style. Doesn't punch, you know, in combinations necessarily, but when he does counter punch, he's very accurate and he's strong. So, you know, that's something that we'd rather have a guy that didn't move a lot than a guy who moved a lot. So I think with John's style, a guy that's a little bit more stationary, you know, is a good thing. But again, you know, you may say he's stationary, but he's awful good at what he does when he's stationary.
Yeah. And you know, I talked to Adrien Broner, you know, out here in LA. He told me this fight doesn't go the distance. Your reaction to that, and do you feel the same way?
No, I don't get involved in whether it goes the distance. You know, those are predictions, and if you've been around for a while, you know, those aren't the smartest thing to do, is to make predictions, especially when it's involving your guy. Yeah. All I say is this, is that what we do is we're working to win. That's it. Yeah. You know, what round, how, when, you know, those things are impossible to predict. But one thing that I can say with a surety is what we're doing right now is we're doing everything in our power in training here, work ethic wise, sparring wise, amount of rounds wise, running wise. It's all geared to winning.
And Joe, as far as when you think of the stage that John is on, is that something that you take into consideration? He takes into consideration boxing hasn't been on NBC in years, 130 million viewers. Is that something that you guys even think about? Is that the furthest thing for your mind at the moment?
Yeah, it's you know, it's a great thing to have the, you know, that boxing is going to be shown back on network TV. Al Heyman's bringing it back. He's, I believe, got a series of 10 fights on NBC this year, which is amazing. Yeah. The amount of viewership that you can get on network as opposed to cable is just exponentially bigger. So, you know, of course we have the knowledge of that, but is it something we even talk about or weighs on us? No. No, we don't. The place, the network, you know, that all becomes a little less meaningless to us. Although we appreciate the grand scale of it all, you know, that's at least where our concentration is going. But for the guys that put it together, the promoters, the managers, the matchmakers, you know, my hat's off to these guys. They did a great job, and it's going to be a great spectacle for the fans. But as far as impacting what we're doing, no. Yeah, there's nothing to do with it.
And Joe, you know, a lot of people, they talk about John's power. Obviously, that's one of his biggest attributes. But is there anything else that people don't give John enough credit for? You as a trainer, that you know that maybe people don't give him enough, you know?
Well, you know, the intangibles. You know, the intangibles are you know, well, ooh, that was a good one. You know I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
I'm going to get him so bad.
Oh my God.
I'm going to get him so bad. He's going to get it. Well, I guess one of the intangibles wasn't me breaking his arm, was it?
Yeah.
No, you know, the intangibles are what's inside of a man. Yeah. You know, and his, you know, the character, the willpower, the determination. Those are all intangibles that, aside from the fact that he's got great power, and when in great shape, can put that pressure on that makes you fight every second of every round. On top of that we already know about him, again, the intangibles, which I mentioned previously, are something that you can't buy, and he's got it. And he's got that determination, he's got that will to win, and those are things that are invaluable to a fighter. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have perseverance, determination, and guts, and a big heart, you know, it makes it a little bit tougher for you. But, you know, Molina possesses those qualities which are necessary for a champion.